it was fun because, let me tell you, Sweet Home Alabama is like one of my most favorite movies, and I felt like this is kind of like that. I mean, sort of.
Well,
I've never been with a man before either.
Colleen.
I've never been with her in front of a man before.
I've never been with her in front of a man either. Xander.
We can't.
We're so scared.
The others might hear us.
No, they won't.
They're okay.
So, one of my very first roles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I want to say it's like an insinuated sexual situation. That's a dream, I think. What's funny is I was obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but the original movie. And then they came out with a TV show, and Sarah Michelle Gellar obviously was everything, and everyone loved Buffy. So I was super excited for that to be my first quote-unquote role. But I didn't get to meet her, but I would have geeked out for sure.
You were so strong. But listen, sweetie, if it gets to be too much, you just holler. I can totally take over since I pretty much did the whole thing myself last year.
Yeah, that's great and everything, but you want to take your stuff off the podium now?
Oh my goodness, so when I started on the OC, I was a guest star, and I think honestly, the key to all of my success was making Josh Schwartz laugh. That sealed it. That got me the role, that continued me on the show, but I think just being in Josh's good graces helped for sure. Also, chemistry is everything, and I think the scenes they were writing for Summer and Seth really helped. I definitely did not bring Chris McCutt to Josh. That was his own world that he created, and him and Stephanie Savage and all of them got together and came up with that, which was pretty brilliant. I did come from a half Jewish, my mom was raised Catholic household, so I could relate, and I appreciated the Yama clause. My favorite thing to revisit with the OC podcast, honestly, is getting to see everybody again and reconnecting and catch up with people. That's the best part because it's been almost 20 years. It was such a special time, so just catching up with them has been the most awesome part. Also, watching the show because I had never seen it before, so it's all new for me.
And don't worry, because crises. Crises?
I think it's crises. Go with crises.
Right. Like I said, crises, well, they come and go.
So yes, my first feature film was The Last Kiss, which to this day is probably my favorite thing I've done. And yes, I seduced Zach Braff in that movie. It was really funny because we were friends and we became very friendly like making the movie, and I still love him to this day. We're still good friends. But you can't prepare for anything like that. You know, there was a love scene. I remember being adamant, like I'm not doing nudity, but I remember in the moment, they were like making sure I was covered. Tony Goldwyn directed it, who was also fantastic. But in the moment I was like, just get rid of it, who cares? But thankfully everyone was like, no, you don't really want to do this. And they reminded me, I was like, oh yeah, so I'm happy that that didn't happen.
So you saw me as soon as I came in?
Maybe?
I didn't know what to say.
About, hi, hello, been a long time. How are you?
When you first meet me in Jumper, I am bartending. There was not a lot of prep for that. And if you asked me to make you a drink today, I would not know how. That is not my area of skills. Oh geez, let's bring up my track record of dating co-stars, because that's what I like to talk about. That was totally organic. It may have been another run at dating a co-star, but that worked out quite well because I have a beautiful child as an outcome.
I'm a capable person. I can handle this, just like I handled childhood, college, medical school,
Exactly.
on my own.
On your own. Well, but what about...
Please, I do not want to talk about it. And of course.
So Hart of Dixie was such a fun show. I remember Josh Schwartz, and Stephanie, their company was making it, and Lila Gerstein, who created it, was a writer on the OC. So we all knew each other, and it was fun because, let me tell you, Sweet Home Alabama is like one of my most favorite movies, and I felt like this is kind of like that. I mean, sort of. And it was really appealing. The only thing that wasn't appealing was all the medical jargon I had to learn. I was terrible at it. I was like, you guys, can we just like get to the rom-com stuff and just move right past all the... I had to learn how to suture on like a prosthetic hand. I knew how to do that for a little while. I wish I still did because I have a kid. I feel like that would come in handy. But yeah, the medical stuff was definitely not my favorite part. Hart. The craziest animal mishap that happened on Hart of Dixie, okay, this isn't exactly something that happened with or to an animal, but Burt Reynolds, the alligator, on the pilot, we were shooting it at like 3 in the morning. It was a very long day, and I have to fall in the mud in like the backwoods outside of Wilmington, North Carolina, where we were filming. I land in the mud. I go home at 5 a.m. that day. I'm like, I feel something on me, and I'm like, that's a tick. I'm tired, and I like go to sleep. I just ignore it. But I fully got a tick from laying in the mud with Burt Reynolds, the alligator, on the pilot, and I pulled it out in the morning. I think I got all of it. If Hart of Dixie would have been on Netflix, it probably, well, no, okay, would it have a longer life? I will say this, the last season of the show, I was actually pregnant with my child, so that really sort of played into things, but looking back, I wish it went on. It was such a great show. I worked with so many amazing people. We got along so well. We all still talk, and we're like, how do we bring it back? I would so be down to go back into, not the short shorts, but into Zoe Hart's shoes.
Every week I get asked by some frat guy to a kegger, and I say, I'm a PhD candidate writing a dissertation entitled Foreign Direct Investment and Intergenerational Linkages in Consumption Behavior.
And what does frat guy say to that?
That's hot.
Actually, that is kind of hot.
So when I signed on to do some episodes of How I Met Your Mother, I think I knew I wasn't, they always knew the mother story. Did they always know the mother storyline? I don't know, but I knew that I wasn't the mother. I knew that I was going to be set up as the roommate to the mother, so I knew I played a pivotal role.
I am a big believer in radical honesty, so I'm just gonna tell you right now that I have never worked in the music business, and I know zero about country music. But sometimes it takes an outside perspective to see things clearly.
So I did get to sing on Nashville. I remember signing on and I was like, you guys, if I'm gonna go on Nashville, like I have to sing, right? Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but it was really fun and everyone was really supportive and welcoming on that set and on that TV show. It was really just a good time and probably nerve-wracking a little bit because I think Stella was watching me and her voice is incredible. So that kind of felt like dorky karaoke girl, but it was still fun. Listen, if you need nursery rhymes, I'm your girl.
My father wants you to come in.
Is it happening now? Is she dying?
Whatever you'd like to say to her, I think now's the time.
I don't know how much preparation I actually put into playing a villain. My main thing was playing against a villain because it's a reveal in the episode, so I didn't want it to be too obvious that I was the bad guy. Obviously, you know, it's a TV show. There's things that that they put out there to keep you guessing, but it was just so fun. But I also feel like this happened in the beginning of the OC with Summer. Like everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's such a you know? And so anytime in person, meet and greets or whatever, I'd be like, hi, like overtly nice just to prove that I wasn't that character. So now, because I did play a villain, I feel like I have to do that a little bit again. I would totally want to play a villain again because it was a lot of fun. A Disney villain? Okay, yes, I've always wanted to be a Disney princess, but if they offered me the villain, you bet your booty I would take it because yes, any villain actually, it would be really fun. I don't want to boil a bunny. That said, I probably still would do it.